Step into the spotlight.
Hey guys, Underground Geek here, and man, it's been crazy today. Threats to Ethan Van Sciver, threats to me saying I was threatening Ethan Van Sciver, and then they followed by deleting all their tweets and then blocking me. But still, that one guy that's like trying to terrorize Ethan, that's just crazy. I think it's probably a stock account made by Dan Slaughter, some of his other cronies, but we'll talk about that some other time. What I want to talk about today is a new thing that I'm trying to start doing. I want to start a weekly what I would buy kind of pull list to let you know what's coming out and kind of give you the heads up about what I think is going to be good or what's already good. That way you don't waste your money on bad comics. Now, could they still be a bad comic? Yes, they could still be bad. But right now, as of the last issue, they're good, so you need to check them out. Okay. So the first one I want to talk about is Action Comics with DC. I'm going to go through DC and then I'll go through Marvel. There's not that many independents that I'm reading right now that come out tomorrow. So I'm just doing the ones that come out tomorrow. Action Comics is coming out tomorrow. It's the Oz Effect Part 3. As you know, we just found out who Oz is, so it's all starting to come together. And it's getting very suspenseful. You know, it says his origin comes out. Superman is distracted by disasters looming around the world. Mr. Oz has the time to confront Lois Lane. So this one's going to be kind of intense. It has a cool cover there, a lenticular cover that it comes with. Check it out. So next on my list is going to be Dark Knight's Metal 3. Dark Knight's Metal has been one of my favorite series this year of comics. No joke. I picked the cover that has all the Dark Knights on the front of it. I just thought that would be a good cover. And on this issue, it talks about Superman. As you know, Superman and Wonder Woman kind of like dissolved into old people or something. We never did see anything else about them. So now it says Superman is pulled into the mystery of the dark multiverse while the Justice League follows the trail to a weapon which could keep the forces of the dark multiverse at bay. Is that not cool? But yeah, if you haven't been reading that, get back and get the other issues and get the tie-ins because they're awesome. Okay, so and as you know, my boy Scott Snyder, he's doing Dark Knight's Metal 3. He's a really good writer. He did New 52, Batman, and a couple other things. They're really good. So next on the list is Detective Comics. Now, Detective Comics kind of is a sore spot on me right now because James Tynion, I think he's the guy that writes for it. He went on Twitter the other day basically bashing fans. And so I'm kind of torn about this. I'm still reading it, but I'm not that fond about it anymore just because it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I may end up dropping it. I'm not sure. But the comic itself is great. It's just he has a bad attitude. It's kind of like, he still writes good. It's kind of like when Tom Cruise makes a movie. You don't like Tom Cruise, but you like the movie, So it's a pick or choose kind of type thing. But right now it says, this is a lonely place of living, part 2. This is a storyline that's been going on. It says Tim Drake has been locked in Mr. Oz's fortress, but now he's free and roaming the prison while his captor faces off against the Man of Steel. But is he the only prisoner that's been freed? And this gets a really cool tie-in to another Batman and what's going on. So you may want to check that out. Now, Flash is the next one on my list. Flash has been really good so far. It's been good pretty much every single issue of this new tie-in. And so definitely check this out. They just finished the Bloodwork storyline, which was gross, and now they're doing the Black Hole Rising. It says, while the Flash's negative speed force, yeah, he's got the negative speed force right now. That's pretty cool. While his negative speed force powers begin to take their deadly toll on him, Black Hole begins its most audacious assault yet with the criminal outfit finally assumes control of Star Labs. So for those of you that don't know, he's actually working at a prison now. So that's pretty cool. He has a different job now. And so he's having to deal with that. At the same time, he's having to deal with his negative flash powers. He's working at Iron Heights, by the way. Their prison. I forgot the name. So the next one on my list is going to be Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps. Both the Green Lantern stories are good right now. You have to get over Jessica and Simon a little bit. They're a little annoying sometimes, but they still get along very well. So anyway, this is number 30, and this is Mind Games Part 1. And it says, Sinestro has returned. Hal Jordan travels to Earth looking to bring in his one-time Green Lantern partner. And it says, a manhunt turns into a fight for his life as Hal Jordan faces the unmatchable power of the Man of Steel. Because Superman has been possessed by Parallax, so he's a Yellow Lantern. So you got Yellow Lantern Superman versus Hal Jordan. That's a great fight. Next on the list is going to be Mr. Miracle number 3. Mr. Miracle has been like a home run every issue so far. You definitely want to check out this issue. We're only into issue 3, so you can definitely get caught up. It says, the insanity of war is insanity of Mr. Miracle. Darkseid and Orion's forces clash violently on the battlefields of New Genesis. Orion is running New Genesis right now, so... Stained with blood and glory, the new gods fight on. As they move closer to victory, Scott and Barda begin to see that every step forward leads them into a deadly trap. Where do you run when the path ahead is your enemy's triumph and the path behind is your family's defeat? It's a very good mental comic book. You definitely want to check it out. It's been quite good so far. And here's another new comic that's coming out that I have heard nothing about. It seems like it's going to be good because the cover looks amazing. It doesn't even have a variant cover because the regular cover is so good. It's called Ragman number 1. After a failed mission to raid a tomb in the Israeli desert, war veteran Rory Harper is plagued by the death of his parents or his partners. As Rory battles his guilt back in Gotham City, he discovers that what was in that tomb has followed him home. It's all about to change his life, but as Rory begins his journey, an evil is invading Gotham City, and it wants what he's discovered. Is that not cool? That's awesome. Check that out when it comes out. I'm definitely going to check it out. I can't wait to read that and see if it holds up to the story expectations here. And nobody's talked about it. Next on the list is Red Hood and the Outlaws number 15. This has been great every issue as well. The Red Hood and his team are awesome, and they really show a good team dynamic as they're getting along, as they're having troubles, and they set up the team. This is Bizarro Part 2, Reborn Part 2. Bizarro died helping his team, and Lex Luthor brought him back, and now he's a super genius. It says, as Batwoman and her team close in on the infamous Outlaws, because everybody thinks that they're bad guys when they're actually not, Red Hood and Artemis must figure out what to do with Bizarro, whose new war on crime has taken a dark turn. Is this the end of the Outlaws as we know them? All right, a nice little cliffhanger there. Next on the list is Supergirl. Everybody's been talking about Supergirl. It seems like they've been good each issue. The annual was all right. The artists have done a great job with some of the cover art. And this number 14 talks about Supergirl meets the new Superman. So we've got the Chinese Superman getting in this issue. His sales aren't doing too well, so I guess they're trying to boost them. To help get her amplified powers under control, Supergirl will need to travel to China and train under I Ching and Kong Kenan for help. But when an international threat hits the city before her training is complete, is Supergirl ready to save the world? How about that? So that's all I got for DC. Now we're going to move on to Marvel. Now, it's a slightly shorter list. This week, I can tell you that I'm probably going to be reading 2 titles. 2. Gwenpool number 21, because I like Gurihiru, the artist, and when they bounce, I'm going to bounce too. When they dip, I dip, you dip. Anyway, since arriving in the Marvel Universe from the real world, Gwenpool has made a name for herself as one of the most exciting heroes. That is a matter of opinion, actually. From teaming up with Spider-Man and the mighty Thor to tackling villains like MODOK and Arcade, because Arcade is in every freaking comic right now, no one can stop her combination of demolition and off-the-wall adventure. But now Gwenpool is looking for the biggest and baddest foes she can think of, and she's going to right to the top of the list with Doctor Doom. So you can probably see that she's probably going to fight Doctor Doom. She's probably going to take him out in one hit because you know that's how they do all these characters. But for the most part, the art and the stories have been entertaining. So I definitely would suggest that. You have to get over the fact that they have a pretentious assistant editor on it. Anyway, next on the list is going to be a comic that nobody's talking about, but is on issue 28 at this point. And that's the Uncanny Avengers. This is Stars and Garters Part 1. Part Avengers and part X-Men. 2 of Earth's mightiest heroes and 2 of Earth's mightiest friends. When it comes to superheroics, Wonder Man and the Beast have seen it, done it, and they got the t-shirt. When the world throws you cosmic conflict, global calamity, death, rebirth, and heartache aplenty. I don't know who made this description, but stop. It's important to remember where your friends are. And I really like the cover because I really like the way that they drew Beast, so I'm probably going to be reading this comic just for the artwork. The story is actually pretty good. They don't make the heroes overly strong. They don't make the enemies overly pretentious, so it's pretty good. They had Graviton in the last one, I think. But, yeah, this is my list. This is the ones I would say pick. Now, if you have any other suggestions, tell me in the comments so that anybody else might know what's going on. I know that they have that Hellboy comic coming out, but I haven't really read up on it to know if it's any good. Some people have told me Scooby-Doo Apocalypse is good. I'm not sure about that. So let me know what you think about this video. I'm trying something new, giving you some suggestions. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my notifications for my videos. And have a great day, guys. Underground Geek out.
I wish I knew you when I was young.